Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Queen Karizma, and I'm back with another commentary video. You know we keep it sugar-free over here, and that will not stop. Go ahead and get into Young Miami and Saucy Santana and JT's conversation, interview, whatever you want to call it, on Caresha Please. All right, I'm going to give you my point of view. I watched the entire interview yesterday on the same day that it was published to YouTube, and I wrote down some points, so I'm going to go through those points now. Make sure y'all hit that like button right now, and make sure you go ahead and subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss another video. Young Miami has a show on Revolt TV, which is created by Diddy, called Caresha Please. Now, y'all know that Saucy Santana basically is the person who came up with Caresha Please, because the name, at least, because I remember when they were doing live videos on like Instagram and stuff like that, they would be like arguing. I don't know if they were play arguing, if they just made this stuff up for clout, like just to make people laugh for entertainment. But yeah, I don't know, a lot of y'all should remember, if you were paying attention, that her and JT kind of fell off a long time ago, in my opinion. I don't think they were really ever that close to begin with. I think they just needed each other to be put on and get out of their situation. So I just want to put that out there first, because Santana will always be like, Caresha Please. Young Miami have her show Caresha Please with her alleged sugar daddy, Sean Diddy Combs, and they have the episodes, it airs on YouTube. She had already done a few shows. Her first show was with Diddy, and her second show was with Kevin Gates, and finally the third show is with JT and Saucy Santana. All right, so when I watched this, when I was just getting into how they were looking at each other, their facial expressions, their body language, Young Miami, her energy was different during this episode of Caresha Please, featuring JT and Saucy Santana, than her other episodes, in my opinion. Santana seemed to be there as like a support system for Caresha, or like a mediator for her and JT, as opposed to a friend on all parts. He seemed like he's leaning more heavy on the Caresha side. And so Miami and Santana, they sat far away from JT, and they sat beside one another on this like outdoor cream colored sofa. It looks like they were outdoors. It was a pretty scenery. I believe they were outdoors, and so they had set up everything outdoors. It was couches and everything. So Young Miami and Santana was on one couch sitting, you know, all cuddly, and then JT was by herself on a different couch, and she had like a pillow, one of the pillows from the sofa, on top of her lap, and it looks like she was drinking a drink or eating candy or something. So to me, JT's body language, it made it seem like she was guarded, like with the pillow on top of her lap. That's kind of like you kind of protecting yourself, kind of like a shield. In my opinion, it seemed like it was like a shield protecting herself from whatever was going to come her way from Saucy Santana and Young Miami. It seemed like she was very uncomfortable sitting across from them, and honestly, I felt a lot of tension. I felt a lot of tension between all three of them. No matter how hard they tried to play it off, it was very hard to ignore the fact that the City Girls was more like two solo artists instead of a girl group. I got the impression that Caresha and JT have been doing their own thing for a minute, and they only came together for music, or they only come together for music, but they don't really kick it in real life. They don't really know each other like that, or neither do they get along, in my opinion, from just observing them and listening to how they talk to one another, their stories. It seemed more like a venting session, as if I was in a room with two people who were in a relationship. It's like they got a lot of stuff to get off their chest. They have two very different personalities, and people try to make it seem like, oh, opposites attract. No, they don't get along, period. It's no vibe. It's no connection. And the way they have their image, like the city girls, they act like they're best friends. But it's apparent that Caresha's best friend is more than likely Saucy Santana. And JT said on that show, on Caresha Please, on the episode, that Lil Uzi, her man, is her best friend. So they're not even best friends. They don't even seem like friends. Caresha was like, I don't know. She seemed like she was shading JT. She seemed like, I don't know. It just how she was asking the questions was different than how she was with the men that she asked, the questions in the previous shows. She seemed more awkward or something. It seemed like they clashed throughout the interview very early on. JT looked surprised when Caresha asked her if going to jail made her more bitchy and serious. Caresha told JT that her fans think that she's rude, and she asked JT what did she think about that, and she was just asking questions like that. JT basically said that she don't think she's bitchy, she don't think she's too serious, but she is straight up, and she doesn't take shit from people, pretty much. JT mentioned that many people on the internet are trolls, especially nowadays. It's like they trying to get a reaction from people. They trying to, press people's buttons to make them respond to their comments under their pictures or other things like that. And she feel like she got to stand up for herself. And what shocked me a little bit was that Young Miami was not on her side. She was like, no, I don't think they trolls. I think they just got their own opinions. Basically making her seem like an evil witch. It seemed like she was making JT look really bad. She was making JT look like she was just, honestly, the dark-skinned, bitter, angry black woman who don't want to be friendly. She made her look bad, in my opinion. She made it seem super awkward when JT would ask or answer the questions. It was this long pause before Young Miami or Santana said anything, and I was like, why is it this long awkward pause? She'll ask her a question and then JT will answer, and then it'll just be this pause, and then it just was awkward, and then JT would say something to fill in the silence. And so she basically said she didn't think she was bitchy. She didn't think she was too serious. And yeah, she didn't get backed up when she said that a lot of people are trolls these days. They different than when she wasn't famous. She wasn't like that. And I don't know about all that. I think that she probably was a troll when she wasn't famous. So now she's basically seeing how it is to be famous and being on that other end, receiving all of those, trolling type of comments now. In my opinion, from my observation, everything's alleged in my own opinion. Okay, y'all. So anyway, so throughout the interview, Santana and Young Miami tried to make JT basically look bitchy, like she was an outcast, like she was unfriendly, she was too serious. And later in the interview, Santana agreed, and he said from his opinion that JT is bitchy, but that she's also a sweet person. And I was like, wow, y'all really just don't get along with her. It's like, y'all, this is what I think. I think that JT was replaced by Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana got on the map because him and Caresha was starting to appear close or show up together on social media. I don't know. Maybe it was for clout. Maybe that's the type of stuff, according to JT, that Caresha liked to do. She liked to go on live. She liked to be loud. She liked to do, just basically do the most. Is what JT pretty much said. Her and Santana be doing the most when she just be wanting to chill, want to relax. They up screaming, shaking their ass, always on a live show, always got to record something, and she not with that. So Young Miami was basically saying, we with the vibes, bitch. I'm trying to take a shot. I'm trying to be, basically I'm trying to do me. And she was basically telling JT like she was like a party pooper. Like, you know, it's like, it was just, I don't know how JT is in real life, but that's what Young Miami and Santana, in my opinion, from me watching the entire interview in one sitting, that's what they made it seem like to me. So anyway, JT was looking surprised when Santana was like, wow. And she just seemed like she was caught left-handed. Like, it was kind of like she was being interrogated, or it was 2 against 1. And I feel like that's the dynamic off the camera too. I feel like that's just the way it is. They're not close. And I don't think she really likes Santana like that. Like, I don't think they got a close relationship like Caresha and Santana. So it surprised me also that Miami and Santana were interviewing JT instead of JT and Miami interviewing Santana. It says that the host was Young Miami and the co-host was Santana and the guest was JT. So that tells me they definitely not close at all if JT was a guest on the show. Like, that's crazy. How is she a guest and y'all are the city girls? Like, y'all should have been interviewing Santana. He's supposed to be the newcomer, right? If, in my opinion, if they both, you know, came out the mud together and did all this together, well, don't it make sense that, doesn't it make more sense that JT should be a co-host? Like, she should have been a co-host from the get-go, but in my opinion, Caresha wanted it all, and she's trying to go solo, and they were talking about going solo too. But let me get back to my notes here. So it just surprised me that Miami and Santana were the ones who had, you know, the little cards with the questions, and it seemed like they were interrogating JT. I'm just like, why is Santana there? Why do Santana need to be there when it's a City Girls thing? And then it hit me, oh wow, Santana, they made Santana the new City Girl. Like, Santana replaced JT. Everywhere you seen Young Miami, you saw Santana. Like, he really came up off of Young Miami and off of that clout on the internet that they were doing back and forth, roasting one another and just acting crazy online. So he definitely blew up from that. Young Miami basically put him on, and everywhere that Young Miami was, you saw Santana. You didn't see JT. JT was often seen with Lil Uzi. It's like she completely blocked out the rest of the world, and just her and Uzi, that's her world, revolve around her and Lil Uzi. She says she's in love. She's basically thinking this is a real love. When Miami asked JT about like romance and asked her questions regarding romance, JT was like really happy. Like, she seemed happy as far as when the questions pertain to Lil Uzi. But when Miami was asking her, well, are you a freak? This and that. And JT was like, yeah, I'm a freak. Miami looked shocked. She said, what? You a freak? Like, no, for real. Are you a freak? And she was like, wow, that's the first time I'm hearing this, on Caresha Please. And so she claimed that was her first time hearing JT call herself a freak. And I'm like, well, don't y'all put yourself out there like that? Like, is this a facade? Is this a fake image? Have we been bamboozled? Because this is not the City Girls. This is two strangers who not getting along. It's not even a sister vibe. Like, I don't know. I think people really making it seem like, oh, they're just opposites and opposites attract, and that's just how friendships are. You get in arguments. Yeah, we understand that. You get in arguments, you get in disagreements, but Young Miami was basically reiterating over and over that her and JT get into arguments all the time. And I don't think that they get along, period. I don't even think they sister status. They not best friend status. I don't even think they friend status. They might just be acquaintances, honestly. They got two different social lives. Young Miami's with Diddy, so she basically got her own show now. So it's like she already went solo. whether she want to admit it or not, it's already like Young Miami went solo because she had Caresha Please. If she was thinking about JT, it would have been her and JT show. It would have been a whole City Girl show, which would have, made more sense. But Caresha already set herself up, for success. She connected with the right people, and now she got JT on her show, and her and Santana questioning JT. And so she was just like, what? You a freak? That don't make sense. Like, I never heard you say that before. So that was really awkward. Young Miami's reactions to JT. And like I said, it was a little bit shady to me. It was like, I don't know, undercuts. It was kind of passive aggressive. It seemed like they got a lot to talk about, a lot to hash out. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but allegedly, Caresha and Lil Uzi do not get along.
Is this Caresha? Yes or no? Come on, because I already was in the DMs looking pussy and I don't play that shit. Is this Caresha? Bro, stop playing me if I embarrass you on this shit. Is this Caresha?
Baby, your woman is saying this to you on the passage.
You know my whole body and soul, and you know I don't give a fuck about nothing. So listen, is this Caresha?
Uzi, me and you don't have to be friends.
I don't care, Caresha.
That's understood. We don't have to be friends.
Caresha, it ain't even about that though. It ain't even about that, because you know me. I ain't never got to see you, just like you ain't never got to see me.
Uzi, what you gotta say?
I'm about to say it. Let me get my whole speech out, because you know I don't do this. Okay? Yeah, I do. It's me. Look at my car. Look at my life. I do way too much. So anyway, Caresha. And JT told me, she like, Uzi, you ain't gonna do nothing to make it worse, so don't say nothing. But clearly I run this shit. And this is mine. So it's just like, Caresha, shut up. Look, JT. If I told you to kiss me on this live right now, you gonna do it.
Okay, well just say.
So just chill. Hey. You saw what I said to you, Caresha, because you left me on scene.
Yeah, because it's like, it's understood. Me and you not friends, and we don't have to be friends. That's it.
But it's not about that, Caresha. I told you, I ain't gonna say it on live. I already told you what be wrong with me. Everybody know what be wrong with me. You don't know me like this.
Yeah, but exactly. I never did nothing to you. This your second
No,
time.
you didn't know. You see what I said. You saw what I said.
So at this point, it's just like,
Miami and Lil Uzi do not get along, but Young Miami said that she thought that Lil Uzi brought the best out of JT when they were talking about romance and how JT's in love, and JT said she don't pay no bill. Uzi pay all her bills. She don't even know what a bill looked like. Therapy session, because they was just taking shots at each other. JT said that Young Miami is not compassionate or like an appreciative person, and that and she gave the story. She gave an example, which was a story of how she had to like jump through hoops to get to Young Miami's birthday party that she had with Diddy. Young Miami was told that JT wasn't going to be there at first, but then JT ended up surprising her. And so she was like, they didn't show Miami that JT was there yet. JT was like hiding on the side. And then when JT was like, surprise, Young Miami was like looking like it was not a surprise. Like she was just looking at her. She said she was just looking at her and Miami was just looking back at her, and they didn't say nothing. And I was like, what? That's messed up. So her whole attitude just changed. Like, who are you? Like, basically insinuating that Young Miami basically got Hollywood. Like, nothing shocked her no more. Nothing was new for her no more. She wasn't appreciative of the finer things. She didn't appreciate JT as a friend. And that's what it felt like JT was saying to me. So to me, just the whole persona, the City Girls, they act as though they, like right now, how I'm looking at them, they already went their separate ways. They already went solo. I felt like I was watching two people venting about how they truly felt about one another. Like after not seeing each other for a while. I feel like they haven't talked in a while, and this is probably the first time they sitting there talking. Like, basically JT was just a topic because people was expecting her to interview JT, because I think Caresha was like on Instagram not so long ago, a few weeks ago, and she said, who do y'all think I'm interviewing next? And people said JT duh. But I don't think she had nobody. I think she was waiting to see what the people said, and then she fulfilled, basically their request, what they wanted. So anyway, it looks like they already are solo. Young Miami already doing her own thing on Diddy's platform. She seemed to be more popular on the internet. She seemed to be like more of a social media person. This is what they were talking about as well. JT, she just was all about Lil Uzi, and I think she said that Lil Uzi and her, they live together in a house, and he pays her rent, he pays the bills. She don't have to lift a finger. And I did notice that she had a ring on her ring finger, I believe, allegedly, on her left hand. So I don't know if her and Lil Uzi are engaged or what, but she definitely had like a wedding band on her left hand. That's what it looked like to me. Now, it could just be a regular ring. I don't know, but she definitely had a ring there. They were just getting into a lot of different topics, like Miami not inviting Saucy Santana to her party because they had got into a bad argument, I guess, sometime around before her birthday, or, something happened where there was this video that was leaked of Saucy Santana, and they were basically saying that it was him in this video, this adult video, and the video went around and went viral on social media, and JT and Young Miami was laughing at him like, this you, and he was like, no, I'm not laughing, that's not me. So it got serious, and according to Young Miami, Santana ended up cussing her out and JT out, so she didn't even invite him to her birthday party. But he claimed that wasn't him on the tape, and that it was embarrassing that people thought it was. So he didn't think that was funny because it damaged his reputation. It could have affected his business with his record label and things like that. One kind of highlight in the actual show, the interview, is that JT started crying when Miami mentioned that she believes that they're stronger together, but her actions speak differently. Her actions show that she is solo. She got a whole platform, Caresha Please. It don't mention no JT, no nothing. Like she been had this in the works, in my opinion. She been making solo moves, and the fact that they're not even close just made it easier for her to do her own thing with Santana. And honestly, it don't even look like they seen each other in a minute. I don't even think they talk on the phone. I think that's kind of cap too. I just don't think they friends. And I think that we're going to find out real soon that the City Girls already broke up, because this image of them being together is just the image. It's just business. JT said it herself. This is just business. To her, she don't like she don't like the game. She says she love rapping, but she don't like the game. So that's telling me that she probably has some issues being dark skinned, first of all, because we know hip hop is a whole complete colorist type of culture that those type of black men created in hip hop. And so allegedly Trick Daddy was in Young Miami ear, or he had posted something on social media telling Young Miami she need to just drop JT. Why is JT there? She's irrelevant. Young Miami is the popular one. She's popping. JT, basically is like the ugly duckling. Like, she's the ugly dark skinned one. Young Miami's the pretty light skinned one. And, why is she still even fucking with JT, pretty much? So it was just real interesting. It was awkward. It was cringy. It was sad. And you can't fool me. The gig's up. Y'all are not cool. You're not close. You're not even best friends. But you try to act like you best friends. Like you Salt and Pepper. And I understand things happen in girl groups, but I don't think they were close to begin with, and it hasn't even been a long time since they've been in this game. So I feel like something else happened, something deeper is going on. And hey, only time will tell. I'm sure JT would do just fine without Caresha, because she has the actual rap skill. But Caresha knows that she don't need to have a rap skill because she got P power, right? And when you got P power, doors open for you that skills and education wouldn't have given you in a quicker or shorter amount of time. So JT had admitted that people have told her also that she needs to go solo because Young Miami can't rap, and that she was pushed to do a song with a big rap artist without Young Miami, and they kept on pressing her to do it. But they said, but would not with Young Miami. Like, she can't be on the song because she can't rap, she can't hold a beat, allegedly, and all that different stuff. But JT says she declined the offer. So I think they just trying to hold on to an image, trying to hold on to what people want. But I don't think that I think they moved on from one another. They got on and they moved on. So soon JT will probably be pregnant, since she living with Lil Uzi, and she talk about she love him and it's her first love. So hey, we gonna see. But tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think they are putting on the front just to make money? Do you think Quality Control, which is their label, put Young Miami on a pedestal because she's light-skinned and perceived to look better than JT? What are your thoughts? Do you think JT is a better rapper? Do you think clout is greater than skill? Do you think clout is king? And if you have skill, you just got skill, but that doesn't guarantee that people will like you. What do y'all think about this dynamic? What do you think about them going solo? Drop your comments, and I will see y'all on the next video. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Peace.